reason, our guest of honor was not able to join. We will immediately begin our session within a minute. Gaikwad sir, are you able to hear our words? Hello. Gaikwad sir, can you hear us? Are you there? Please unmute yourself so you can speak. Gaikwad sir, please unmute yourself first.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome, sir.
Hello, Milind sir.
Yes, already?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible, sir. Good morning, all, and I welcome you all to this state-level online workshop on NetSite and PATE guidance. Today is our second day. Yesterday, we had a very wonderful 2 sessions of eminent personalities. And today is the session specially organized for the people of Department of English who are aspiring for NET and SET examination. Before the speaker begins his session, let me talk about a few details of his without wasting much of your time. Dr. Kamlakar Gaikwad is working as an assistant professor at Arts, Science and Commerce College, Nagpur. He has recently been awarded the PhD degree from Savitribai Phule Pune University. He has published more than 90 papers in different journals of national and international repute. Sir, I welcome you to this online workshop. I extend a warm welcome to all the people, especially the president of this session, the Honorable Principal, Professor Dr. A.V. Patil, sir, whose brainchild is this online workshop. So I welcome you, sir, as well, and the other dignitaries of the college and other participants from different colleges. I extend a warm welcome to all. Without wasting much of time, because we have already wasted a lot of time in technical details. So I directly request Dr. Kamlakar Gaikwad, sir, to initiate his session. Over to you, sir.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes. First of all, I express my regret for having the technical glitches. Good morning. Good morning and warm welcome to one and all. Indeed, it gives me an immense pleasure to be with you for this state-level workshop on CSIR, UGC-NET, SET, PET examination preparation, organized by IQAC and Competitive Exam and Career Guidance Cell, Arts, Science and Commerce College, Manmat. I'm very thankful to Honorable Dr. Prashant Dada Hire, President, MGB, Dr. Apurabhau Hire, Coordinator, Dr. V.S. More, Joint Secretary, and Honorable Dr. B.A. Jagdale, Sir, Trustee, MGB, Nasik, for their constant support and guidance. I'm also thankful to Dr. Mrunal Bhardwaj, Dean, Humanities and Social Sciences, Dr. Kalyan Kokne, Chairman, BOS, MGB, Nasik, for providing this intellectual platform to me. I express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Arun Patil, Principal, Dr. Pramod Ambekar, Vice Principal and IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Vishwas Adule and Dr. Milind M. Aire, NAC Coordinator, and Kakhanki ma'am for giving me this wonderful opportunity to deliver a guest lecture on how to prepare for CSIR, UGC-NET, SET, SLATE, and PET examinations. I heartily welcome to all the students who have joined this workshop through Zoom platform and showed their interest and enthusiasm. Now, without further ado, I would like to start my presentation. First of all, yesterday, the students have been introduced and they have been acquainted with the paper one. And this paper one concept has been cleared to them by Professor Manoj Supekar yesterday. And today I'm going to deliver a lecture on how to prepare for UGC-NET, especially for English students who have opted English as their special subject. And let me tell you about this UGC University Grants Commission National Eligibility Test Exam, which is conducted by NTA, National Testing Agency, twice a year in June and in December to determine the eligibility of the candidates for junior research fellowship as well as the post of assistant professor in universities and colleges. Now, this test is conducted in humanities, social science, foreign science, environmental science, computer science, and electronic science. Let me tell you about who can appear for UGC, NET, or SET exam. Generally, the general candidates who have secured at least 50%, 55% marks in master's degrees from recognized universities are eligible for this test, especially the category students from scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, persons with disability who have secured 50% marks can appear for this exam. Now, as far as English subject is concerned, it might be the question in front of the students who have opted English as a subject, special subject. What are the career options after clearing NET or SET exam? So friends, let me tell you that after clearing of UGC-NET exam, you become eligible to become assistant professor or lecturer. Or the second option is you may receive junior research fellowship in reputed universities, institutions. So these vacancies are announced from time to time and you have to apply for the same. Now let me introduce you about the examination pattern. As you know that in NET/SET exam, there is no negative marking scheme. Each question carries 2 marks each. As you have heard yesterday about paper 1, it's about the teaching, research aptitude, comprehension, communication skills, mathematical and logical reasoning, ICT, environment, and higher education system questions. So there are 50 questions and you need to carry, all the questions are mandatory, and 50 multiplied by 2, it is 100 marks. And paper 2, as far as your subject is concerned, and about your domain knowledge, the questions will be 100 and marks will be 100 multiplied by 2, 200 marks. So thus the paper will be, there will be 150 questions and marks will be 300. Now, friends, let me tell you about how to prepare or how to study about the NET examinations. So the core thing is that, first of all, know your syllabus. What exactly the syllabus is about? What are the different parameters which you are going to face? What are the different styles or what are the different patterns about your syllabus, about your content? All these things you need to study about it. Then the second parameter is purchase the requisite books. Whatever the books are required, you may purchase those books from the market. The most important thing is that there should be a regular access to the library. Then fourth thing is that compile topic-wise multiple choice questions from the books. Whatever the books you are referring, you just compile the question, you just select the question, you just write those questions in the MCQ form so that you may be confident to write the answers in the exam. Then there should be a micro study of each topic. Now, one more question is in the mind of the students: how many hours do I study regularly? Friends, if you spare at least 5 to 6 hours a day or 4 to 5 hours a day, and if you manage your time accordingly, that would definitely prove helpful to you to crack the NET or SET exam in first attempt or whatever your attempt is. For this purpose, first of all, you have to prepare your own notes, because own notes will help you it will build your confidence. It will ensure you how to prepare the notes. It will also tell you about how to prepare for the NET SET exam. And the next step is about use of internet is also advisable. Using the internet sources, it will help you to solve previous year question papers. These question papers, when you solve these question papers, through these question papers, you will come across the depth of the particular era, the depth of the particular topic. And lastly, I mean to say that solve some online practice tests or mock tests. If you follow all these 10 steps, definitely the success will be yours. Now, some of my friends, some of the students, they may ask the question like this: is NET SET exam is difficult? So the answer is here. NET SET exam is conducted by NTA and SET by SBPU Pune. These exams are the most renowned and prestigious national level exams and state level exams. So every year, lakhs of students appear for these exams. And this makes NTA, NET, and SET to be the toughest higher education exams. But today, I'm here to tell you about, even though you may feel the task is difficult, but dear friends, I would like to tell you that even though the task is toughest one, but if you study regularly, if you study with a planning, with a schedule, with a time management, I mean to say that no NET exam will be difficult for you. You can crack the UGC-NET exam, you can crack the SET exam with proper preparation through UGC-NET syllabus, exam patterns, question papers, mock test, and topper strategy. You just look into the matter how the toppers have cracked the exam. What is the secret of their cracking the exam? All these things will come to know if you study the history of such kind of toppers and how their strategy helped them to crack the exam. So, dear friends, your next question might be, can I prepare for UGC-NET in 3 to 6 months? So the answer will obviously, to qualify the UGC-NET exam in 2 to 3 months or in first attempt, first of all, check the last 4 to 5 years question papers. Secondly, choose the topics of their concern from these papers as well as from topics where maximum questions appear. Suppose there are 10 topics as such. So out of 10 topics, on which particular topic, which particular questions may be asked in exam, what are the frequently asked questions, what are the maximum weightage of the topic, that you need to understand by referring previous year question papers. Then attempt to solve 10 to 12 mock tests. Ideally, it takes 3 to 6 months to prepare for the UGC-NET exam. So it depends on how many hours you can devote to studies every day, because it's a continuous practice. If you want to crack the NET exam, it is the continuous practice. You need to spare 3 to 6 hours a day compulsorily. So do not delay until the 11th hour. Takes about 3 to 5 hours of regular studies to clear the UGC-NET exam. So I think, friends, you have got the clear idea about the cracking of exam NET set exam in 3 to 6 months by sparing 5 to 6 hours a day. Now, the next question is how the UGC-NET exam cutoff is calculated. Dear friends, you might have heard yesterday also, and today I would like to tell you about the same. For general category candidates, 40% marks are required. For reserve category candidates, 35% marks are required. And for category paper 1, out of 100 marks, and paper 2 out of 200 marks. So this is the weightage of total 300 marks. And as I said earlier, there is no negative marking scheme for this particular exam. Now, having all the general ideas about this paper 1 or NET set exam, how to clear, what to do, how many hours we need to spare. Now, allow me to come to the next point, and that is the main aspect of today's presentation, that is UGC-NET paper 2 syllabus, as well as the subject code is obviously 30, and there are 10 units, and these 10 units involves the unit 1 is drama, unit 2 is poetry, unit 3 is fiction and short stories, unit 4 non-fictional prose, and these 4 units must be tested through comprehension passages to assess the critical reading, critical thinking, and writing skills of the students. As far as unit 5 to unit 10 are concerned, unit 5 is about language. What are the basic concepts, what are the theories and pedagogy, and use English in use. Then unit 6 tells about English in India and its history, evolution, and futures. Unit 7 is concerned about the cultural studies. Unit 8 is about literary criticism. Unit 9, literary theory post-World War II. And Unit 10 is about research methodology and materials in English. Now here, after knowing the syllabus, first of all, I emphasize you just have a knowledge or a thorough knowledge about that particular topic. Suppose the topic is, let us consider unit number 1, and it is the drama. So dear friends, first of all, you try to know what is drama. In literature, drama is the portrayal of fictional or non-fictional events through the performance of the written dialogue. So drama is a type of literary work which intended to be performed on the stage for an audience. So it may be performed on stage, it may be performed on film or on the radio. So these dramas are typically called as plays, and the creators of drama are called as playwrights or dramatists. Now let us come to the next point. What are the types of drama? Especially there are 4 types of drama: comedy, tragedy, tragicomedy, and melodrama. If we go for comedy, comedy is nothing but these are the comic actions. Tragedy, melancholic performances. Tragicomedy, mixing of comic and tragic actions. And the 4th part, the most important part, is the melodrama. Now, what is the melodrama? A melodrama is the sensational dramatic piece with exaggerated characters and exciting events intended to appeal the emotions. So, and we have studied here what is the definition of drama, types of drama. Then we'll come to the next point, that is the features of drama. If the drama is basically created and molded by the following features of drama. First of all, we need to consider about the role, the characterization, the situation, voice, the movement of the characters on the stage, then space and time, especially language and text, symbol and metaphors, mood and atmosphere, and audience. See, the entire drama is intended to be heard from the audience. It is the audience which responds to your reactions, and in this way, drama creates a tension, a A drama creates a comic reactions among the audiences. So these are the 10 features of drama. And let's move to the next parameter, that is the elements of drama. As you know that Aristotle has explained 6 elements of drama. And these 6 elements are plot, character, thought, diction. Diction means choice of words. Plot is the sequence of the events. The characters are the personages who perform on the stage. Thought, the sequence of thoughts in the minds of the character. Spectacle, visual aspects of the production, including costumes, makeup, scenery, and special effects. And the 6th element is about song. So through these six characters, through these 6 elements, drama is add-on. Now, friends, I would like to go to the next point, and that next unit is poetry. So, first of all, try to know what exactly the poetry means. Now, William Wordsworth says about the definition of poetry in his lyrical ballads written in 1805, and he says that poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. It takes its origin from emotions recollected in tranquility. So that is the definition by William Wordsworth, and let me allow to share one of the definition by William Shakespeare. What Shakespeare says, poetry is born with ideas, nerved and blooded with emotions, all held together by the delicate, sharp skin of words. So this is the definition of poetry. Then the elements of poetry. There are 5 basic elements of poetry: meter, rhyme, form, sound, and rhythm. What is the meter? The meter is the basic rhythmic structure of a line within a work of poetry. Rhyme is the correspondence of 2 or more words with similar sounding final syllables so as to echo one another. Their form, sound, and rhyme, these are also the basic parameter, that is the features of poetry. So, dear friends, figures of speech, descriptive imagery, punctuation, sound and tone, and choice of meter, these are the different features of poetry. You may see that in poetry there is a figurative language, the use of figures of speech, which adorns, which decorates to the particular poem. So it is self-explanatory. So there are usage of descriptive images, punctuation marks, there are different sounds and tones, and choice of meter is also there in poetry. The most iconic poems, for example, I would like to tell you T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland, Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken, Sylvia Plath's Daddy, S.T. Coleridge, Kubla Khan, P.B. Shelley's Ozymandias, Rudyard Kipling's If, William Blake, The Tiger, and W.B. Yeats, The Second Coming. If we go through all these poems, these will be the most iconic poems and which are the meaningful poems too. Now, the next unit is about the fiction and short stories. Dear friends, it is our duty to know about what is fiction. Fiction is defined as something that is not true, that is imaginary. It is the literature that is created from the imagination. So, for example, a book that is not based on a true story, a lie that you were told, a false belief, anything made up or imagined as a statement of the story. All of these things are the fictitious one, and that is called as fiction or imaginary stories. Now, next point is, what is short story? Short story is the brief fictional prose narrative. Basically, it is shorter than a novel, and it usually deals with only a few characters. As far as short story is concerned, There is an economy of setting, concise narrative, omission of complex plot, characters are disclosed in action, and dramatic encounter also takes place, but it is seldom fully developed. All these are the features of short. This is the information about the short story. My dear friends, first of all, we would like to know about the elements of the short story. Short story are the elements. There are 7 elements: character, plot, setting, point of view, style, theme, and literary devices. Characters are the human beings who inhabit in our stories. Plot is the sequence or the series of events. Setting is the place where your story takes place. Point of view is the opinion of the writer. Style is the particular aspect in which the story is projected, and theme is the central idea, and literary devices are also there in the short story. Now there might be a curiosity to know about the types of fictions. What are the types of fictions then? Definitely, we have the novel, short story, and novella. Novella means what? It is a standalone piece of fiction that is shorter than a full-length novel, but it is longer than a short story. Longer than a short story, but shorter than the novel. That is called as a novella. Now, the main genres of fiction are, what are the main genres of fiction? Crime, fantasy, romance, then science fiction, Western fiction, inspirational fictions, historical fictions, horror, etc. Now, apart from this, types of fictions according to the age of the intended readers, the intention of the reader, accordingly to the intention of the reader, there are children's fiction, young adult fiction, new adult fiction, and adult fiction too. For example, if we discuss about the famous fictions, A Passage to India by E.M. Foster, Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, Ulysses by James Joyce, War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, The Old Man and the Sea, Ernest Hemingway, The Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner, 1984 by George Orwell, Beloved by Toni Morrison, Paradise by Jane Austen, Midnight Children by Salman Rushdie. So all these are the famous fictions. In unit number 4, we are going to study about non-fictional prose. What are the non-fictional prose? Non-fictional prose are the non-fictional bodies of the prose works. They are rich, they are varied, and they consist of letters, diaries, political manifesto, articles, speeches, philosophical works, etc. English literature, especially of 19th and early 20th century. Dear friends, I would like to tell you about unit number 4, well-known non-fictional proses. If we see about the titles of the well-known non-fictional prose, The Passage of Power by Robert Caro, Dark Money by Jane Mayer, How to Survive a Plague by David France, The Art of Cruelty by Maggie Nelson, The Beast by Oscar Martinez,
Guy
and
sir.
How to Do Nothing, Jenny Odell. Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, we have 10 more minutes.
Okay,
The
sir.
next
Okay,
guest
no issue then.
will begin at 10:30, so you have 10 minutes to
I will wind up the
conclude.
session.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, thank you.
So, basically, the students in unit number 4, there is a language, basic concept, theories, and pedagogy. So, the 5 main components of language are the phonemes, morphemes, lexemes, syntax, and context. As far as syntax is concerned, the arrangement of words in sentence, clauses, and phrases. Lexemes are the basic lexical units of a language. Phonemes are the smallest unit of sound in speech. Morpheme is about the meaningful morphological unit of language that cannot be further divided. As far as basic theories of language, a language is thought of as a rational human invention. Now, in basic theories of language, we have to focus on 5 aspects. That is the cultural historical approaches, structuralism, functionalism, formalism, and post-structuralism. In structuralism, a sociological and semiotic theory is there. In functionalism, language works as a tool for effective communication. In formalism, language as a mathematical, semiotical system, and post-structuralism is the language vital tool. As far as basic pedagogy of language is concerned, the basic 4 skills are there which help us to, when we say about acquisition of language or learning of language, these 4 skills are very important for us. That is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. As far as the usage of language, function of language, Michael Halliday, he has stated about 7 initial functions. And these functions are regulatory functions, interactional functions, representational functions, personal, imaginative, instrumental functions, and heuristic functions. Heuristic function means the functions which are used to learn and explore the environment. Regulatory functions are the functions which are used to influence the behavior of others. And through these 7 functions of English, Michael Halliday has said the initial functions of language. As far as now, I'm going to moving to unit number 6, that is the English in India. History, evolution, and futures of Indian English language. We know that Indian English is a class of varieties of the future of the English language spoken in India as well as among the Indian diaspora elsewhere in the world. English is the official language of 7 states and 5 union territories. It is the sole official language of the judiciary of India as well. As you know that the status of Indian English is, after gaining the independence from the British Kingdom, United Kingdom in 1947, English became as an official language in the domain of India. So India ranks 50 out of the 100 countries in 21 EF English Proficiency Index. As far as evolution of English is concerned, its early history began with the works of Henry Louis, Vivian Derizio, Michael Madhusudan Dutt, followed by Rabindranath Tagore, Sri Aurobindo, R.K. Narayan, Mulkraj Anand, and Rajarao. All these eminent personalities contributed in the growth and popularity of Indian English fiction. As far as the futures of Indian English is concerned, it is a well-known fact that the advanced knowledge of science, technology, research, space, nuclear field, medicine, engineering, in all these fields, English language is abundantly used. Now, unit number 7 deals with the cultural studies. Friends, what is the cultural studies? Cultural studies is basically the representation of the study of different forces from which the whole of humankind constructs their lives. The aspects studied in cultural studies involve a variety of cultural expressions, upstream media, literature, and art. The objective of cultural studies is to understand culture in all its complex forms and analyzing the social and political context in which in which culture manifests itself. So cultural study is the representation and manifestation of culture. And the unit number 8, which focuses on the literary criticism. Dear students, I would like to tell you about what the literary criticism is. Literary criticism is the comparison, analysis, interpretation, and evaluation of works of literature. Types of literary criticism, if we study the archetypal criticism, cultural criticism, feminism, then psychoanalytical criticism, Marxism, new criticism, new historicism, post-structuralism, reader response theory, all these things are there. In unit number 9, literary theory post-World War II. As we know that First World War took place in 1914 to 1918. World War II, 1939 to 1945. And now we are on the verge of Third World War. But as far as the literary theory is concerned, literary theory is the systematic study of the nature of literature and of the methods of literary analysis. Since the 19th century, literary scholarship includes literary theory and considerations of intellectual history, moral philosophy, social prophecy, and interdisciplinary themes. Now, in unit number 9, we are on schools of literary theory. Especially in literary theory, there are various schools which deals with the aestheticism, African American literary theory, cognitive literary theory, chemiticism, cultural studies, then Darwin literary studies, deconstruction, feminism, eco-criticism, formalism, Marxism, new criticism, new historicism, post-colonialism, and post-modernism, as well as it deals with the post-structuralism, psychoanalysis, queer theory, reader response theory, structuralism, and semiotics. After studying all these literary theories or the school of literary theories, let me have a focus on the last unit. And the last unit is obviously the most significant part, and that is called as the research methodology and materials used in English. Dear friends, I would like to acquaint you with the fact what is research. Research means to search again and again, to explore again and again, to investigate again and again. So it is defined as the creation of new knowledge and or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way so as to generate new concepts, new methods, and new understanding. So the primary purpose for applied research is discovering, interpreting, and evaluating the development of methods and systems. Now, so research is a careful and detailed study of the particular problem. And for research, you need to have in-depth analysis of the information. We need to explore the unknown facts and unlock new possibilities. Dear friends, I would like to move on the next part, that is the steps in research. There are basically 8 steps in research. Identify and develop your topic, do a preliminary search for information, then locate your materials. Number 4 is evaluate your sources, whether the primary sources, secondary sources, make notes on them, write your paper or write your thesis, then cite your sources properly, and proofreading is must. So these 8 steps, through these 8 steps, one can able to proficient in research. Now, as far as the research methods are concerned, research methods are done through experiments, through surveys, through questionnaires, interviews, case studies, participant and non-participant, and lastly, the observations. Observational trials and study by using the Delphi method. What is the Delphi method? Delphi method is the process used to arrive at a group opinion or decision by surveying a panel of experts. So with this, I conclude that these particular, through these 10 units, I just have focused on these 10 units so that it would be easy, easy to understand, to comprehend all the units, and through these units, definitely you can crack the NET exams. So I have given the citations also. So through this, once again, I express my sincere gratitude to the principal, Manmad College, Dr. Patil sir, and Kakanti ma'am, Dr. Milind Ahire sir, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my views on how to crack UGC-NET exam. So once again, I am very thankful to the audience for having the patience, and they have joined this Zoom platform and showed their interest and enthusiasm. Thank you one and all. Have a good day.
Thank you very much,
Milin,
sir.
sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for this informative session. And you have gone through all the units of the syllabus prescribed for NET and SET exam. I hope this interaction will be very useful for our participants and they will take a note of it. Once again,
I'm extremely sorry, sir. I could not able to show the PPTs.
Okay.
Extremely sorry for that.
That we can understand. Even our participants will understand this, that certain things are beyond our control and we cannot control them at certain times. But as a part of organizing team, I extend my sincere apology once again to all the participants for not being able to initiate the session on time. And we have taken a very serious note of it. And I assure you all that in the coming initiatives like this, we'll be very careful in managing our time. So please accept our apology. So moving on, we have a formality of vote of thanks. And to do the honor, I personally invite myself to do the honor. So I thank the guest speaker, Dr. Kamlakar Gaikwad sir, for sparing his valuable time and interacting with our students and talking on a very important issue related to NET and SET examination. As he has gone through all the details of the units prescribed, the NET and SET examination, I hope that that would be very useful to you as students of English language and literature. Sir, thank you very much for your time and for your interaction with our students. We extend our sincere gratitude towards you. Thank you very much. And I'm hopeful that in future as well, we'll have certain collaborations through which we'll be able to extend our collaborative work. Thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Milin, sir.
Yes.
Milin, sir, excuse me.
Yes.
Sir, I have this because I have seen the dialog box, chat box. Students are asking about the reading material and the textbooks for this NET SET exam. So I have mentioned the PPTs of these reading material. 2 PPTs are there. So I will send this entire PPT to you so that it would be helpful to the students, sir.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure. Dear participants, the guest speaker has promised to send his PPTs. If anybody is interested, then we'll put our WhatsApp number in the chat box. And if you need those PPTs and the related material, then you can access that material from this WhatsApp number. Okay. So do communicate with us if you're in need of those PPTs. Thank you very much once again. And in a couple of minutes, we'll begin our next session. We have another guest of honor, Dr. Raj Tribhuvan sir from MSG Arts, Science and Commerce College, Malegaon. He has been doing a wonderful job in terms of teaching and learning, and there are a number of innovative ideas that Raj has with him. So I welcome you, Dr. Raj Tribhuvan sir, to this online platform. And before I invite you to begin your session, I request the head Department of English, Dr. Mrs. Kavita Kakhanke ma'am, to have a brief introduction of the guest of honor, Dr. Raj Tribhuvan sir. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, one and all. I'm Mrs. Kavita Kakhanke, Assistant Professor of English and Head Department of English, UGC Arts, Science and Commerce College, Manmad, District Nasik. Respected Principal Dr. A.V. Patil, sir, Vice Principal Dr. P.G. Ambekar, sir, Resource Scholar Dr. Tribhuvan, sir, all faculty members, and dear participants. Today is second day of 1 week state level workshop on CSIR, UGC-NET SET PET examination preparation organized by Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir, Arts, Science and Commerce College, Manmad, jointly organized by IQSSF of College and Department of English. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce and welcome today's research scholar, Honorable Dr. Raj Tribhuvan sir, for second session. Dr. Raj Tribhuvan sir is currently working as an associate professor at Department of English at MGB's Maharaja Sayajirao Gaikwad College, Maligaon, District Nasik. His teaching experience is 17 years. He has taught the subjects like American literature, novels, dramas, optional English, etc. He has obtained PhD degree, and his topic for PhD was film studies and teaching of novel and drama. To his credit, there are 13 research papers are published. He attended 3 seminars as a resource person. Sir is in editorial board of the Indian Journals of Research Studies and Scholars World, IRMJCR. Apart from this, he is working member of Castribe Organization Maligaon, Municipal Corporation Maligaon. One more great thing about this sir is that he has been working as a lyricist, director, creator, designer from last 20 years. He has directed short film, feature film, and dramas. His famous feature film was Maligaon Ka Hero, and short film namely Pavsha Manto Thodi Vaat Pahili Asti Na Baba. He created Android app on Google Play Store, Hello NetSet, and Hello English NetSet. He's also working in the field of professional advertisement. So today we have a versatile personality with us. I welcome Dr. Raj Tribhuvan sir wholeheartedly. I hope you will enjoy all these sessions. The first one, and this is going to the second one. So be ready with all your queries. All the best. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to Milind, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for this brief introduction of our guest of honor. Shinge sir, if you can make Dr. Raj Tribhuvan the co-host, that will be good. He wants to share his PPT. Please share. Please make him co-host.
Sir, Tribhuvan sir is now host.
Okay. So I request Dr. Raj Tribhuvan sir that the floor is yours.
I'm not able to hear actually.
Over to you, sir.
Just a minute. Give me 1 minute only.
Sure, sure.
Meeting ID. Zoom meeting ID. Okay. Just a minute. I join you immediately. Meeting ID access services. Access services. Options. Meeting ID.
Raj sir, you can use another device if you need. Dear participants, the guest speaker is getting ready his PPT. So we'll wait for 2 more minutes and we'll begin his session.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
You are
can you
audible.
hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I hope that I'm audible to one and all, and I'm really sorry that I was just using the other device to connect to you people. Yeah. So I, without wasting a single second, I start my lecture. Yeah, you don't take it a lecture otherwise, because there are so many things we are going to deal with. Okay, I think I'm quite audible to you all people. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's a great thing. So today, uh, while we are discussing and thinking about NET and SET examination, it would be a great idea to think a little differently. Okay. So it's a very simple actually. Means yes, I can call nowadays. Getting through NET and SET examination is a very simple thing, just because of one thing, that if you do have a very technical eye to look at this NET and SET examination MCQ pattern, so very deliberately I have used this word, the technical eye on this examination to get through, because yes, that descriptive had its own heyday. It was a wonderful thing to write essays after essays on literature. And nowadays, clicking the questions and immediately getting the responses in a week or two's, so that has lost the excitement as such. uh, However, it is not very simple too. Okay, yes, I said that it is very technical one, but not very simple too. What technical aspect I just want to focus on is not the technology related aspect, technical aspect, to look at literature properly and to have the, I don't say the vinyl nexus, okay, but a wonderful nexus we can have between literature, literary theory and criticism, and literary terms. So the wholesome of the syllabus, the entire syllabus of NET and SET examination, that revolves around these three aspects. So the three aspects must be paid a very proper attention. First, I said, that is literature, that is always at the center, because without this you cannot move further. Without having the knowledge of literature, it is not possible for you to understand the literary theories. the literary criticism, the literary terms, whatnot. So unless you have a very clear idea about literature, you cannot understand the theories, criticism, and terms as such. Now, the point is this, that what is to be done with at the very onset, at the very beginning, what is important to see? So the most important thing to see is that you must go through the syllabus the first, because syllabus is designed, So what is the meaning of designed syllabus? The meaning of design syllabus does mean that whatever outcome is expected after the examination is given by the students, and what things have to be done to let students get through the examination, to qualify the examination. So the objectives and the outcome of the objectives, that can be well seen in the design of the syllabus. So this designing of the syllabus is very important thing. So how this design of the syllabus can be well understood? Simple thing is that there is the age-wise, the syllabus is divided into some age-wise items are there. So there are the ages, classical age, then the neoclassical age, then the romantic, Victorian, modern, postmodern. So the syllabus is designed like this. Why the syllabus is along, miss, if you understand this pattern of syllabus, you can start studying NET and SET examination. That is what we are going to see. So for this, some books are importantly to be noted down. So I would request you people to note down the names of some books. So these 5-6 books, means if you read them again and again, I ensure you that you will definitely go through the examinations. So what exactly we do, we generally do one thing, that we don't finish one book and we just jump to the other one, then the third one, then the fourth one, and no book is completed, no book is finished. And because of not having that attachment with one book, it happens that your study always remains incomplete and you cannot form any policy as such. So if you really want to form a policy of study, it is there that you should go for some books, not all the books. So far English language, literature, and criticism is concerned, I would suggest you some books, and they are wonderful books, I tell you. So first of all, I would tell you one thing, that you must go for, that is one and all, that Glossary of Literary Terms by M.H. Abrams or by Oxford University Press. So these two are the wonderful books. Now, why I want you people to begin with this book, no? Because it is a table book as such. So you can turn on any page and you can just go on reading the things. But the reading of this is very specific. The reading of this Glossary of Literary Terms is very specific. Why it is very specific? Because when you read any term, so the name of the book is Literary Terms, Glossary of Literary Terms. So if you turn on any page, you find one thing there, that the term itself, and after you go through the term, you find out the term in the form of a definition. So there is a definition of the term, but this definition is very vague, very abstract, cannot be understood. And so in order to understand the definition, in order to understand the content in the term, we are given the example, and this example is generally either a literary example or a critical example. Mostly it is a literary example, means an example that relates the term to literature. And then we understand. For example, I just tell you a very simple one, absurdity. You know, absurdity is a term. So when absurdity is a term, what happens, you know? So absurd literature is a literature that talks about the meaninglessness of human life. There is a divorce between man and society. There is a divorce between actor and setting. So such kind of things are talked there. It is a belief that there is meaninglessness in human life. There is no communication. So certain things are there when absurdity is thought about. And then for this, some authors are given, for example, Albert Camus, you know, and many more are there. So these authors are given. So what is expected, you know, when the example is given in the form of a literary piece, an author, a critical term or a critical theory, it is expected that students know this, or they should know this. I'm going to show you something very immediately. Yes. So what is that? Again, that is another expectation of mine, that what things are to be done when you start your studies. No, so I have something to show you, and here it is. Yeah, if I can be enabled the screen sharing option, no, so I can.
Yes, sir. You are the co-host, so you can share your screen.
But when I go for host disabled attendee screen sharing, it is just like this.
Okay. Shenge, sir, please check if sir is co-host or not.
Sir is co-host, sir.
Now I think. Yeah, here it is. It was very specifically means designed for my students. You know, you are also my students now. So it was very specifically designed for the students. You would love to see it. You know, this is a wonderful experiment we had done long back. Yeah, it was World Classic, UGC-NET or SLATE, a brief history of English literature for paper 2 and paper 3. So it was the then all about this paper 2 and paper 3 matter. No, so almost all the authors had been tried to be taken into this poster making. It was actually a poster making, but it was very creative poster making, you know, and you people will be helped a lot. Means immediately after this, I will share the same with you people. So it was a booklet for objective mode. Okay. So it was based on new syllabus. So this will exactly help you. No, so it was not for sale actually. Yeah, all those things. Yeah, these are some people, those who really helped me, you know, in the designing of this what say poster making. Yeah, but slowly it will be opened because it's a big file actually, you know? It's a big one. Yeah, it was a period from Chaucer to Shakespeare, and it is an introduction as such. So it was at first mainly the vehicle for religious homiletic writing, the first great age of primarily secular literature at about second half of the 14th century. The 15th century was more important for popular literature than for the artful literature addressed to the upper classes. It was the age of many excellent songs, secular and religious, and of diverse folk ballads, as well as the flowering time of the miracle and morality plays, which were written and produced for the general public. Yeah, there is much more to talk on Middle English period. It was a wonderful period. But you people, means when you study, actually, it is a booklet, so a very little passage is taken. You are expected to read things in detail at home. You should spend some hours to read the Middle English period, because the socio-historic and economic as well, cultural changes in these periods, they affected literature a lot. So it was a Renaissance, then Elizabethan age. When we go for Chaucer and Shakespearean literature, there we find that there are historical and social events. And along with these historical and social events, some literary events were taken place. So both these things always go hand in hand in the world of literature and also in the world of history. That when English had become the language of Parliament in 1362, so such kind of things are asked to you in the examination, that when English had become the language of Parliament. So you need to have the clear eye on this 1362. That time, 1377 to 79, Langland's Piers the Plowman was written. So very deliberately these things are taken. Piers the Plowman, Chaucer's Troilus and Cressida, Chaucer's Canterbury Tale, which is the masterpiece, you know, the name of the game, I tell you, if you really want to learn things properly. And at the same time, these historical events, these social events are going on. Most of the times we don't pay attention to this. So I was dealing with this, that certain books are required to get through this NET and SET examination of this MCQ mode, objective mode. So in this objective mode, these things are also given much more importance. They are also very significant to know. So Peasants' Revolt ends with the death of Wat Tyler. That time, then it was written. Chaucer's Troilus and Cressida, 1399. Richard II deposed by Henry IV. Henry V, although this is, now where do you find the details of this? So you have one book there, namely, please write down the name of the book, A Short History of English Literature by Pramod Nair. This is a wonderful book, I say. It means you must read this book. This is the simplest. This is the book given things in detail with a wonderful technical aspect of this sort, that historical events, social events at one side, literary events at the other side, and some, not the whole, but some details are given about Piers the Plowman, about Troilus and Cressida, about Canterbury Tale, about the second Shepherd's Play, Sir Thomas Malory, Le Morte d'Arthur, and then Utopia, the Book of Common Prayer. Then most important, you'll love to hear the name, Mr. Marlowe, Christopher Marlowe, that is Dr. Faustus. Dr. Faustus, and you know how Christopher Marlowe, some events are given here. I tell you one event in order to foster the interest in you. That Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus and some other writings, there we find that this Christopher Marlowe was killed, murdered, stabbed by a drunkard. Why? Because it was supposed that he has been doing some defamatory act against God. So defamation of God. No, defamation of God. Abusing God, reprimanding God, rebuking God, against religion he was writing. So this thing was not tolerated by the staunch fanatic Christian man who was drunkard. At one night, he simply stabbed Christopher Marlowe and he died. Then we know Edmund Spenser's The Fairy Queen, then Shakespeare, Hamlet, and Othello and King Lear and whatnot. So if you look at the list from 1377 to this 1605, there you find that this list is very important list, that the things are generally asked. So at least, much more is written in this period, much more. Many people have written, but these are the important authors. At least it is expected you people should know the names of the authors of this period, along with their important works. So these are the important works. So whenever you will be going for the examination, you will find some of the questions based on Chaucer to Shakespearean period, and this period should be taken chronologically, so there is the socio-historical aspect should not be forgotten at the time we go for the literary events. And in the literary events, only those literary events are given great attention that has brought some change. So the change is important. And so we see that this Langlad's Piers the Plowman, Chaucer's Troilus and Cressida, Canterbury Tales, the Second Shepherd's Play, Lee Morty the author, Utopia, even the Book of Common Prayer, and then important work that is Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus, Edmund Spencer's The Fairy Queen, the William Shakespeare's Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth, then all the sonnets of William Shakespeare, and much more. So this is Mary Queen, Mary Queen of Scots executed failure of Spanish Arunda. So so these things are also to be taken into consideration. So this is what I tried. Now this will help you. That what are the important works? When we think of Geoffrey Chaucer, we find that the Canterbury Tale, the Book of the Duchess, the House of Fame, the Legend of Good Women, Troilus and Cressida. So these are the important works, but the Canterbury Tales is the most important work of Geoffrey Chaucer, and because of this, Geoffrey Chaucer is called the father of English poetry as such. So you can be asked the question, okay, here is, which book written by Chaucer was an incomplete one? So here you can have the House of Fame as such. Then we have this, the Parliament of Fowls, the Romaunt of Rose, the Annelida and Arquita. So like this. So when you go for John Gower, you find that Mirror di Loma, Vax Clementis, Praise of Peace, Confessio Amantis, and Speculum Mundi. So this side of writing, I've taken this side of writing, very important work as such of the author. Then Thomas Middleton is an important figure, you must know. Then Sir Philip Sidney, Astrophel and Stella he is known for. Then Apology of Poetry, if you go for this literary criticism there in the spectrum, there you find that Apology of Poetry, here he talks on poetry as such. And then Harmony of the Church. And then when we come to this great man, Edmund Spenser, the Shepherd's Calendar, Prothalamion, Epithalamion, Astrophel, Amority, Fairy Queen. So though he is known for Fairy Queen, but we can't devalue his work of this Shepherd Calendar, and very importantly, the Prothalamion and Epithalamion. You can be asked a question that what is Prothalamion? What is the meaning of Prothalamion? What is the meaning of Epithalamion? And why did he write these two things? And then some less important works. Yeah, we can't say more important works or the less important works as such, So there is, I really, as a writer, okay, as a writer, as a reader also, I never can say that this is the most important work of one writer and that is the less important work as such. Whatever the writer tries, that is a creation only for me. So yes, but those works, when they are not paid much more attention by the audience, by the readers, so that work is supposed to be the less important work. But about this, I would like to tell you, just in order to justify my point that no work is less important or more important. You might have heard the name Dan Brown's the Da Vinci Code, The Da Vinci Code is a very successful work of this man, Dan Brown. And it was wonderfully successful. Even the film was made on that. And it had given him great fame. After he had got the fame, his another, I say, the less important work, that is Demons and Angels. had been paying much more attention. And in this Demons and Angels, you would be surprised to see. In this Demons and Angels, you find that the experiment of Big Bang, that has been going on since many years, 12 to 15 years, under this, inside that Alps mountain, France, that Big Bang, trying to find out the God particle, how the world has come into being. How the world has come into being. So these many scientists from all around the world, they have been trying to find out with this proton how the world has come into being. So that part is very much narrated, described in these Demons and Angels before 50 years of this experiment. When this experiment had not been in the mind of any scientist, it had been going on in the mind of Dan Brownie, and he had wonderfully explained the conflict between the theist and the atheist. So the theists are supposed to be the angels, and the atheists are supposed to be the demons, and the same is continued throughout the world as such. So why this point I stopped and talked with you? Just for one reason. Christopher Marlowe, whom I had simply, I tried. Christopher Marlowe was killed because it was supposed that this man was doing defamatory act. No, talking bad about God, reprimanding religion, against ecclesiasticism, and much more. So if you find this creation of this sort, so at one glance, you find the important writers from say Chaucer to Shakespeare, and your syllabus begins with this: Chaucer, Chaucerian period, Shakespearean period, like this. So when you go for the Chaucer to Shakespeare important works, you find Geoffrey Chaucer, John Gower, Thomas Middleton, Sir Philip Sidney, Edmund Spenser, William Langland, and most important figure is the man, that is William Shakespeare. So William Shakespeare, you have the comedies: The Tempest, The Merchant of Venice, Love's Labour Lost, The Comedy of Errors, Measure for Measure, As You Like It, All Is Well That Ends Well, The Merry Wives of Windsor. Now why these things are given importance here in the slide, because most of the times we think Shakespeare in terms of King Lear, Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and Romeo and Juliet. Finished. We know King Lear, William Shakespeare in the 5 works only. And if we go a little beyond, then we find that The Tempest or The 12th Night, but not more than that. What is expected when you are going for such a big examination? You must know much more things of Shakespeare, 37 plays, out of which at least you are expected to know almost all the 37 plays, not only 5 plays of Shakespeare. So Shakespeare will not be asked on Hamlet was written by, no, but it can be asked to The Two Gentlemen of Verona. When did Shakespeare write The Two Gentlemen of Verona? Or the chronological order of All's Well That Ends Well, The Merry Wives of Windsor, Much Ado About Nothing, 12th Night, or what you will. You can be asked, so what is the subtitle of, what is the exact title of The 12th Night? And then it is The 12th Night or What You Will. And historical plays, and there are 7, 8 historical plays written by Shakespeare. I would like to tell you one more thing when we are going for this, that Love's Labour Lost is the only original play Shakespeare had written. Otherwise, there is no any original play. So all these plays have been borrowed. These are not the plots. They had been conceived by Shakespeare. They are not the original plots from Shakespeare. There is only the original plot that had been conceived in the mind of Shakespeare, that is Love's Labour Lost. That's it. All the other plays, their plots have been borrowed. And then we come to this wonderful man, that is Christopher Marlowe, Dr. Faustus, The Jew of Malta, Tamburlaine the Great, Massacre at Paris, Edward II, Queen of Carthage, Hero and Leander, the tragedy of Tito. So, miss, what happens? Why most of the students, they cannot go through the NET and SET examination, because they have compromised. They have simply limited Christopher Marlowe to Dr. Faustus. They do not know about the Jew of Malta. They do not know about Tamburlaine the Great. I don't say that you need to know each and every play, novel, poem of every each author. It is not possible otherwise, because it's big. It's impossible, I could say. But at least you should know, other than Dr. Faustus, the second important writing, the second uh, work which was close to his greatness. So this is what. Then Thomas Kyd. Thomas Kyd is for the Spanish tragedy, and students of English literature must know Spanish tragedy. But along with the Spanish tragedy, I say that you can be asked about this, your Hamlet. So Hamlet was written by Shakespeare. But if it is asked to you that who has written your Hamlet, so you must have this man, Thomas Kyd, as such. Then you see that John Mandeville, Sir Wycliffe, the Bible, the Bible was written by this man. Sir Wycliffe, Thomas Sackville and Thomas Norton, that is Gorboduc, the first English tragedy. This is the first English. So this type of questions can be asked to you. Thomas Sackville and Thomas Norton, they had tried the first English tragedy. That is, Gorboduc. The Earl of Surrey, Nicholas Udall, Nicholas Udall, that is Ralph Royster Doyster, is supposed to be the first comedy. So he was a teacher, he was a pope. And then John Webster's, The Duchess of Malfi and the White Devil, he is wonderfully known for. So whatever people I have taken here, all these people. So all these people are the most important writers of the age, Chaucer to Shakespearean age. So at least some of the things you hear from your teachers, most of the things are expected to be read at home with some books, and the books I'm going to suggest you at the end of the lecture as such. So Chaucer to Shakespeare, the minor works are there. So I will not read all these minor works, but you should know the minor works, the minor writers. As Francis Bacon is a nice one. Now let us come for the Jacobean period. And in this Jacobean period, you will find again the same. I've taken John Donne. John Donne must be known to one and all. He is known for his metaphysical poetry. So what is the metaphysical poetry? We say that meta means beyond and physical means nature. Not like that. Where it is Discordia Concourse. It is called a Discordia Concourse. So what is this Discordia Concourse? That the two very heterogeneous ideas are brought together with violence. So this violence is not the actual violence as such, but what are the two heterogeneous ideas? So gold is a very physical idea and love is a very spiritual idea. So these two are brought at one place in his poetry by John Donne. That when gold is hammered a lot, it is not broken, but it expands. When it is put into the fire, so it glows more, it shines more. So there is the metaphor of this sort. There is a comparison of this sort. And this comparison between the two heterogeneous ideas, it was not a very general and traditional comparison. It was something beyond. And so that was taken as the metaphysical poetry. And this man is called the father of metaphysical poetry. And John Donne is known for his wonderful poems like The Good Morrow, Song, The Sunny Rising, Canonization. Now this canonization, I would like to talk about his theory of metaphysics. So he says that we people, the lovers, the boy and the girl, we are like the saints. And we should be canonized. We should be crowned we should be accepted as saintly people. We should be respected by people as the society respect the saint. So it was very saint. Those who have left everything, given up everything, abundant life, comforts and all. On the contrary, we see that lovers always indulge in the physical pleasure and all. And even after that, there is a kind of a comparison between the two heterogeneous ideas, the lovers and the saints, and they are supposed to be one. So that is the apparition, a valediction forbidding morning, and much more. If you go for John Milton, is known for his Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, and Samson Agonistis. Then the Nightingale is there, El Allegro, Il Pensereso, Comus, Lycidas. These are very important works, El Allegro, Il Pensereso, Comus, Lycidas, Aeropagitica, On His Blindness. So why these are important ones? Because you may not be asked a question on Paradise Lost, but you may be asked a question on El Allegro and Il Pensereso, Comus, Lycidas, or Aeropagitica. So because when an examiner tries to set a question paper, so the examiner thinks that whether a student knows some more details about the work and the author. And so instead of taking the most significant works, so less significant works are given importance. Otherwise, everybody would go through this NET and SET examination if only things about the significant works are asked to you in the examination. John Dryden, wow, this is what we can say. Mac Flecknoe. Mac Flecknoe is a wonderful writing, but John Flecknoe is a very political man as well. Why Mac Flecknoe was written? You can be asked the question, why Mac Flecknoe was written? It was written against his own friend who was from the other party, and he had written the work Gold Medal. And because of that, John Dryden found it an insult for him. And so against that, he wrote the very thing that is Mac Flecknoe. Absalom and Achitophel. It is a political satire. Then the medal. And the Hen and the Panther. You people must know some of the writings in detail, and most of the writings, at least at a glance, you should go for that. John Haywood, that stories for peace, 4 P's, the palmer, a partner, a pathocracy, and a pelter. Like this only we go on doing things after things. We shall see how these things can well be understood in this way alone. That you must know literature so that you can go for literary terms, and only after knowing the two, it will be possible for you to understand literary theory and criticism. And for literary theory and criticism, I would like to suggest you some names. And the names are, I don't say some names, only 2 important books are there. One is a Spectrum of Literary Criticism, that is for traditional criticism. And the other book, which is very, very nice book, means in the world, I say, that is Beginning Theory by Peter Barry. Peter Barry's Beginning Theory. So Peter Barry's Beginning Theory, you can understand only when you know something of it, some literature, some writers, their writings. Otherwise not. So why literary criticism, literary theory, to understand those things is the toughest job. It is the toughest job because of this, that we people are not used to reading literature. We people are not used to see what is given in Every Man in His Humor, what is given in Walpole or the Fox, what is given in The Alchemist. So he was very Ben Jonson, contemporary to Shakespeare, we can say. Yes, but this man has written wonderful satires. We must know some of them, at least 1 or 2, and the other names at least it are expected to be known. The Andrew Marvell, Andrew Marvell, that this man, Abraham Cowley and Thomas Carey, so they were the followers of metaphysical poetry. William Wycherley, William Congreve, yeah, William Congreve is a big name in the Restoration Comedy, and he was known for his The World, Way of the World. So why it was a Restoration Comedy? Why it is called a Restoration Comedy? Because it is a comedy based on the intrigues of the Beaumont society. Beaumont means the upper strata of society. So how they behave. So it was a comedy of manners. It was a restoration comedy. It restored. Comedy of manners. People were behaving very eccentrically. So this is eccentricism was brought on the stage by William Congreve in his The Way of the World. So much more we can talk on The Way of the World, or here you can go for Samuel Butler. So if you look at these posters, no, you will find that posters and the names I have just mentioned here. So you'll find that each and every name is very important. John Donne, John Milton, John Dryden, John Haywood, Ben Jonson, Andrew Marvell, Abraham Cowley, Thomas Carey, William Wycherley, Congreve, Shadwell, Samuel Butler. So you find that almost all the names are asked in the examination, you know. So if you can have a very clear perspective towards literature, you can understand things very well. Then there are some minor works. The introduction to Augustan period, and there in the Augustan period, much more happenings were there in the world of history and society. And there we find Jonathan Swift, Daniel Defoe, Alexander Pope. We don't have that much time to discuss each and every aspect of it. Yes, but some of them we can expect. There are some 60 pages in this world of literature, no? That is not possible to discuss in a day or two even. It must take some 6 months to finish, so that the interest can be created and certain things can be brought to you very clearly, so that you can study well. I will share this thing with you, whoever want it, no. So just tell me, tell Milind sir or Ambekar sir, and I will provide you the same material. You know, this is in the booklet form actually. It is very costly, you know, but as far as this Milind sir and Ambekar sir, they are my friends, you know. So if they ask me that for our students, so I will give it to you free of cost. No money will be taken, no amount will be taken from you. So this is what I mean. Like this only you should go further. You know, if you go for Robert Burns, Henry Fielding, and much more, it is a wonderful type of things had been created long back. So this is what I have had in my mind, that means in one lecture only, it is not possible to deal with the entire literature, the entire literary criticism, the entire glossary of literary terms. Only the outline can be discussed. Someday in the offline format, if I have been given the chance to meet you, I will surely come there and we'll go along with that. So all the things are like this only. I can only drag them this way, and you will find, yeah, it is quite a romantic one. No, so for you, William Wordsworth, the lyrical ballads in 1798, John Keats, P.B. Shelley, S.T. Coleridge, and whatnot. Yeah, I just stop here. You know, I really don't want to leave the class, but due to this paucity of time, no, I'll have to. So I stop here. Any day, if we can have a workshop of this NET and SET examination for 10 days offline, and myself, you know, alone, I can deal with the matter of this English literature, literary criticism, and glossary of literary terms as such. I would love to otherwise. Thank you very much. Over to Milind sir now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful experience to listen to you after a long time on on the issue like NET and SET, and I'm sure that many of the participants, almost all of the participants, will be benefited by your interaction. And happy to tell you, dear friends, that Dr. Raj Tribhuwan sir has been in the field of guiding students for NET and SET examinations for more than 10 years. And he has produced his own ways of dealing with that examination, not only in terms of books, but in terms of strategies as well. If any point of time in future, if you meet him personally, then you would realize that how deep he has gone into detailing the strategies of facing NET and SET examinations. Unfortunately, we could not give you ample time, sir. So you could talk with these people in detail again. But in future, we'll try at our best to conveniently manage some time for you people to listen to Dr. Raj Tribhuwan. Very happy to have you, sir, today with us for this interaction. Now it's time for a formality, and I request my colleague and head Department of English, Mrs. Kavita Kakanki, ma'am, to propose vote of thanks of this session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, one and all. Honorable Principal Dr. A.B. Patil, respected Vice Principal Dr. P.G. Ambekar, respected dignitaries, respected resource person Dr. Raj Tribhuwan sir, and dear participants. I would like to propose a vote of thanks for the session second. In today's second session, resource person Dr. Tribhuwan sir delivered a very scholarly and informative speech to all of us. Apart from his busy schedule, sir spared his valuable time with us. Definitely, it will be beneficial to all of us. I extend my hearty thanks to our principal, Dr. A.V. Patil sir, who always inspire and guide us and provide an opportunity to Department of English to organize 2 sessions on the second day of workshop on CSIR, UGC-NET SET examination preparation. I extend my sincere thanks to Vice Principal Dr. P.G. Ambekar sir for his unfaltering support. Thanks to organizing committee and my colleagues. My deep sense of appreciation and thanks to all the student participants who chose to be live with us and attending both sessions with great enthusiasm and making it successful one. Last but not the least, my sincere thanks to Dr. Shengde sir for his technical support. Thanks to all. Have a good day. With the permission of a respected principal, I declare today's sessions are over. Thank you. Thanks to all.